Hey, it's Mr. Hasquin, and here's another thing you should know just by being alive. President's Edition. Martin Van Buren, 8th President of the United States. And chances are you may have forgot this guy was already the president, but hey, that's why I'm here. Um, Had some killer mutton chops and a name that sounds like he should probably be running a 19th century apothecary, but Martin Van Buren was born in 1782 in Kinderhook, New York. Fun fact, he was the first president born after the United States became independent and was also the first who wasn't British by birth. He grew up speaking Dutch at home, so yes, he's the only U.S. president for whom English was a second language. Before becoming president, Van Buren was a political mastermind. He was a behind-the-scenes strategist kind of mastermind. He helped build the Democratic Party, which formed around Andrew Jackson, and Van Buren was Jackson's right-hand man, his Secretary of State, and eventually ended up being his vice president. Van Buren basically created the modern campaign system, party conventions, political machines, the whole deal. Thanks, Martin. Now, his presidency? Yeah, not great. He came into office in 1837, right when the U.S. economy imploded in the Panic of 1837. Banks collapsed, businesses failed, unemployment spiked. People were furious. He was nicknamed Martin Van Ruin. It was harsh, but it was kind of fair. Now, instead of intervening aggressively, Van Buren stuck to a hands-off approach, believing the government shouldn't get too involved in the economy, a very laissez-faire mindset. And that decision didn't win him many fans. He served one term and then lost to William Henry Harrison in the log cabin and hard cider campaign. One of the first elections dominated by catchy slogans and image over policy. Now, outside of the economy, Van Buren also struggled with slavery issues. He tried to balance both sides. One, not anger the South, but two, not look too soft to the North. In practice, this meant not really doing much. And the slavery debate only intensified in the years that followed. But credit where it's due. Van Buren later ran for president again in 1848 with the Free Soil Party, which opposed the expansion of slavery into new territories. So while he didn't lead on the issue as president, he did shift later toward a stronger anti-slavery position. In short, Martin Van Buren was a political genius, but a weak president. A man who helped build the system, but couldn't fully manage it once he was in charge. And he wasn't the flashiest guy. Not going to be thrown on a Mount Rushmore or anything like that, but definitely a key architect of early American politics. And, well, hopefully now you know a little bit more about someone you may not have early on. Thanks for watching.